Hey, right guys, this is the test run. I have both cams going. Don't know if you can hear me or how good the sound quality is. But yeah, I'm fully loaded on my KTM 790 Adventure R, circa 2020. And yeah, I'm off to find some hot springs and do some camping.
Quick little intro from the studio here. We are obviously filming in Canada, if you didn't click that already, in the province of BC, kind of surrounded by the USA here, Alaska to the north and the rest of it to the south. Russia somewhere in the north, got the Atlantic, got the Pacific all going. Yeah, so the trip's gonna be about 300 kilometers if you go the Pemberton way. I chose to go through the Harrison way. Went to a couple donuts there in Harrison, and then all the way up to Sloquet on the east side of the lake. Or you can go through Vancouver to Squamish to Whistler and then come through Pemberton and go that way. So I had my bike loaded right up. I almost biffed it coming out of there. That's why I'm in the wrong lane coming out of there. I'm just getting used to the weight of the bike. Had all my camping gear in there. Everything was packed up. I was also, for the first time, wearing goggles instead of just the normal lens. You can see my lens perched up there, just because it's so insanely dusty up the road at that time of the year. It was hot.
Weather's good. I'll tell you the temperature now. Looking at a 17 degree. Alright, I gotta save some battery here because I want to show you guys the dirt stuff.
So it was just 17°C or 63 Fahrenheit when I started. By the time I get up onto the dirt road, it's probably pushing 35. So you'll see when I get there, I'm pretty cooked. So cruising along Highway 7 past Roche, amazing chicken by the way. Take a left at the Sasquatch Inn. This is the first major offshoot that you need to take in order to get the FSR road, the Forest Service road that we need to get onto to hit the hot springs. It's pretty much the most breathtaking views the entire way of this journey. It's absolutely stunning, as you can see. Just amazing lakes, full of fish, full of life, and just incredible. Fully recommend. And so the dirt section of this ride begins. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you should be, or what you should have prepared for a trip like this. On the bike, I have a pump, I have a puncture repair kit, I have my, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's usually on my shoulder, but it's a GPS communicator. Just in case something goes wrong and I need to get help, or I break a bone or something. It can get quite gnarly. The GoPro really doesn't do it justice, but I'd call this like an advanced beginner intermediate ride. There's some rocky pieces, there's some sandy bits, there's quite a bit of traffic sometimes, as you can see. So if you are going to do it, if you're going to do it in a car, you're going to laugh about some of the cars you do see on here. I do it on my truck fairly regularly, and I gotta tell you, like, I'm surprised by the vehicles that actually do make it. It's a bit hilarious, but I would be prepared, especially if you are going to get lost. There's zero cell phone signal up here. If you're gonna have a problem, if your car's gonna fall apart, whatever, you're gonna be stuck pretty quickly. And there's people up there that'll definitely help you, but I'd recommend being prepared so that you don't require help. As you can see, the terrain is always changing. It's either wet or it's dusty or it's loose or it's rocky. It's really a cool ride in terms of the skills you need to make it happen. Sort of the reason why I think this is sort of beginner to intermediate or advanced. Like I'm not a highly skilled dirt rider, but I am on a bike that hides a lot of my riding inability. It's got incredible slip control and ABS braking and even bank angle sensors and stuff. So the bike is doing a lot of the work for me, which is fantastic. But it also, you know, it does disguise the amateurness of my riding. I'm also not in the best shape of my life right now. I mean, I'm pushing 40 years old, so standing for 3-4 hours on the dirt road is quite a challenge in itself. So it's something to be aware of if you are attempting this ride. For those of you who don't know, there are some signs that the four-wheel drive community uses when you're coming up on vehicles like this to try and make it safe for everyone. So they'll hang a number by the number of fingers they're holding up as you pass the first one to tell you how many are behind them. So they hold up like 2 fingers, there's 2 cars behind them kind of thing. So it's just helpful to know that, especially if you're coming up on blind corners or something like that. Very very dangerous, obviously, if it's if you're flying and and there's cars that are hanging in the middle of the road kind of thing. Good to know these things. There's little camping spots everywhere, so it's unpaid for the most part around here. It's just kind of open land, either owned by forestry or by government, Crown Corporation land, that kind of thing. So you can kind of camp wherever you want. It's pretty amazing. A lot of dust though. I don't know if I'd be camping right next to the road. Just small word of advice there.
Run, motherfucker, run.
As I was saying, watch how fast this guy appears. As if from nowhere. Yeah, gotta be careful, stick on the right and pray the other person's also on the right. So if you don't know, there's tons of logging in British Columbia. So all of these bridges and that were built by logging companies. Which is awesome. I mean, however you feel about logging, it's nice to be able to ride the roads that those guys have made and the bridges that they have built so that we can do this kind of thing and get to these kind of places. Without them, I don't know what we'd be doing. We probably wouldn't even know. Like, it would just be the indigenous community that has been using these for like thousands of years. And so I will talk about them in a little bit, but I don't know if you just saw that. A mini came out of nowhere. Top down for the win, boys. Like I said, there's all shapes and sizes. One time I was cruising around thinking I was doing a great job, and like I just got dusted by that guy on his dirt bike. A guy on a Harley Davidson, no kidding, came ripping through here. You got talent or more balls and brains, I'm sure it's possible. Anything is possible. It felt like an episode of Top Gear, like the one in the Mozambique where they go and and drive through Mozambique with like a Mercedes Benz and stuff, and Hammond's on like a $400 motorcycle. So funny. Go watch that one, it's hilarious. A little useful hint here is these mile markers. That one says 28 kilometers. That's 28 kilometers from where we started on the dirt. We're looking for kilometer marker number 76. Is around where the turnoff is for the hot springs. It's also important to pay attention to those markers so that if something happens and you need to radio or use your GPS communicator to tell someone you're in trouble, you can say, hey, I'm somewhere between or around kilometer marker 28 for people to help or whatever it may be. So yeah, pay attention to those when you go past them. So on corners like this, got to be careful. Can't see what's coming. Also, there's a pretty serious decline here. The GoPro doesn't show decline very well. But yeah, it's quite intense. How the views though. So beautiful. So as you can see, the terrain changes quite quickly. Watch how it gets real rocky, real shaly. And yeah, it's just, you're in so many different environments. Like you're kind of wedged between a desert and a rainforest at all times, and it just moves so quickly. So be careful for weather. The water can rise super quickly as well, and rainfalls in the last few years have been absolutely bonkers.
Whew. Oh man. You got this guy. Here we go, I'm just hooked. Got a little kid inside. Yeah.
So I'll take this little opportunity just to talk about the First Nations people that live nearby and have used the hot springs for a long time. I got OpenAI to write me a little thingy here based on what's on the web, and I had to go and look up a lot of pronunciations. So I'm going to put the names of things up on the screen so you know what they look like, but I've looked up what the pronunciation should be, and I'm going to give this my best shot. I really apologize if it is way off the mark. The intention here is to pay tribute to the people who have lived here the longest. So the xa'xtsa First Nation is a First Nations community located in Tupela, British Columbia, Canada. They are a member of the Statliam, I think it is, which is a group of indigenous peoples in BC. Includes the upper reaches of the Lillooet River and its tributaries. They have a strong connection to the land and continue to practice their traditional way of life, including hunting, fishing, and gathering. The xa'xtsa First Nation is also involved in economic development initiatives and is working towards self-sufficiency and self-governance. The hot springs are a culturally significant site for the xa'xtsa people, who have used them for thousands of years for their healing properties and as a gathering place. The hot springs were also historically used as a trading spot between the xa'xtsa and neighboring indigenous communities. Today, the xa'xtsa First Nation manages and operates the hot springs as a tourism destination, offering visitors a unique cultural and natural experience in their traditional territory. So that's the xa'xtsa people, and we thank them for letting us come into their space. And they have such reasonable rates. You'll see when I get to the gate, it's so reasonable to stay there, and it's clean, and they take care of it, and it's amazing. Hey, and look what it is. There's that mile marker, 78. I said 76 earlier, so if you watched this far in the video, you are in a more accurate position now than you were before. Hey, and look what it is, almost missed the turn off. So this is what it looks like. There's not a lot to go off of here. You just come up, you can kind of at it from either side. So in front of us is where they would come in from Pemberton. And you just hug the left and follow this road all the way until we get there.
Hey. Ah. Woo.
Nice bike.
Whew, I'm tired.
Welcome to Sloquet.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're open.
Sweet. What I owe you?
Are you camping or are you just going in for a soak?
I'm camping. Is there another guy with a Delica in there?
There's 3 bikes that came in.
No, in a Delica like 4x4 thing.
This guy?
No, it's a big Mitsubishi. It looks like a van.
2 days ago I think we had a guy come in.
There's no one in there with a car or a truck?
There's a Toyota and 2 Jeeps I think up there. But,
can I go and have a look?
yeah, you can have a look.
Yeah, let me see where he is.
Alright.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I'm camping anyway. If he's paid for a site, do I still have to pay or?
Yeah, it's 20 for the vehicle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, 20.
Perfect. How's it going?
Good.
Cool, good, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's up.
10-15 minute walk.
Perfect. Lovely.
Yeah.
Probably get in the river first. Thanks, man. Hey, bruh. Woo. Oh God, I'm so tired, bro. Fuck yeah, buddy.
I was super curious if you're going to show up in this.
Fuck, buddy, I always show up.
Well, I started to wonder if you're going to show up at all, but I wasn't sure if you're going to show up in this. And then I saw you coming up, and I'm like, oh, one headlight must not be G. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the guy, I was like, is there a guy in there with the Delica? And they're like, no. It's like, what? They're pretty friendly though, eh, at the gate. Yeah. Oh, scheiße.
You came up Harrison, obviously?
Yeah. Yes, it was a long ride. Woo.
I am just so on a different level that these people don't even understand.
Josh V.
But he's doing good things.
Doing great things. Positive, eh?
What do you think? Step 1, step 2?
Yeah. This is Camp 1.
Don't ask me why this is in my camp kit.
In case you need to hang a mountain bike on a tree.
Moment of truth.
All right. Yank it.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Oh boy. That's how we do.
Got nervous for a second.
Hey.
Howdy.
This is this bike setup. And I managed to get all of this on my bike. It's my boy Josh. Fucking one of the best photographers you've ever seen.
Shaka.
Booyakasha.
Yeah, my life could ain't no limit. Put it in, put my soul, put my heart in it. Double cup the ice team and make it foreign in. Phone ring, when they keep calling. But what do I to make a keep scarring? No hesitation when I move to make a keep balling. Out shit looking for sheets, but I never ride on. Say you can do what, man, you never dared on.
Hey, thanks so much for watching, all y'all. It's been a real pleasure making this video, and an even better pleasure sitting in those tubs. 100% recommend. And here's some candy for the end of this video. You're welcome. If you like what you saw up to here, please go ahead and like and subscribe, do the things, and thanks for watching.